Okay, everybody, welcome to the wrap party. That is Word Dungeon. So the Word Dungeon Kickstarter has been running for a full 8 days now. And this is the final hour of the Kickstarter. If you haven't backed it already, please think about heading to Kickstarter and seeing if you fancy it. You head to Kickstarter, kickstarter.com, and you're looking for Word Dungeon. So we are going to play through this Word Dungeon map. If some of you join in, I will take answers in the comments. If you have, hey, Board Game Wizard, welcome. I'm glad you are here. It's just you and me to start with, I think. So the campaign has been going particularly well. And right now, as of this moment, we have 490 of you wonderful backers. It has been a brilliant campaign. I've really enjoyed speaking to many of you in the comments, but also people reaching out to talk to me a little bit about the game. It's just been absolutely lovely. So I'm glad that it's resonated with so many people. And we're going to play Treasure Depths. Now, of course, there are more dungeons that you'll get when the Kickstarter ends. You'll get the Labyrinth there, which we played at the start. The Labyrinth is a bit like a push-your-luck game. You're rolling a dice as the Minotaur chases you out of the labyrinth. We have the original Word Dungeon here, where we are kind of battling through the dungeon to defeat the boss at the end. And then today, we're going to play together Treasure Depths here. Now, Treasure Depths is similar in that we're doing word placement. We're going to create a path of words heading down through the caverns and back up the other side. And you'll see places like this over here. We've got a treasure chest. We want to collect them on the way down by placing words on them. We've got bubbles. We'll need those because we're going to use up the air as we go down. Welcome, Jeff. Thank you for joining us. So to start with, to load up this dungeon, what we're going to do is we're just going to roll a dice. Blue or red. We'll do blue or red, and this will help me work out how far behind you all are, because I know there's a delay. Blue or red? Which dice is going to work for us? It always feels like an insane amount of time behind you are. Okay, red dice, Jeff says. Right, so as we play, please... well, Jeff said it first, so we're going to go with the red dice. Here we go. So we're going to load up our dungeon, Treasure Depths. And to do so, we'll take the letters, we'll point at a treasure chest, roll the dice, and place a letter into it. So this means we have a randomized game every time we play here. So let's do this. We're going to start by, let's take this treasure chest here. This one's hidden in the middle. There's a little path you have to go in to get to it. And let's have a roll of 5. So for this one here, I'll take another pen for pointing with. That's a brush, don't want that one. 5 is an I, an L, or a W. Now I'm going to, I think I'll place a W in there because I can see how we would get out using a W. And then I'll cross off that W because we don't need it anymore. Next one, we'll go with this one. 6, that's an N, a U, or a G. A G seems like a good start. We have to remember that as we run out of letters, we get a bit stuck later on. We'll roll for this. That's a 1. An E, an S, or a C. S feels like a letter we can place there. Rolling again, another 1. So because we've used the S, now it's an E or a C. I'm going to do an E there. Each treasure chest is worth a different amount of points. Rolling again. Oh, we used up the E. cross it off. So this means we get a different kind of different loadout every time. 4 is an O. Let's do it in this one. Let's take a D in that one. And let's take this one next. A 1, so that has to be a C. Sometimes that can cause us a bit of trouble. And we'll keep going. Cross off that C. The 4 is an O. Start a word with an O down here. Next is a 6. So we'll have an N over here. So this means that, so all the maps actually, so when we get a 1 again, we can just choose anything. So I'm going to take a T here. Each of the different maps that you'll get when the campaign ends will have a different way of randomizing it to start with. I'm just putting things anywhere really because I'm panicking because I'm on YouTube. Where's the I going to go? I have to have a word that ends in I over here. Start thinking about that. We're nearly ready to play. 4 at the top can be a Y. Someone's going to have a nice word between G and Y over here. And then we've got 3 more letters. The 3 here, that can be an F. I'm not paying too much attention because if I do, I can start to try and make it a little easier for myself. But I'm just going to roll and we're going to play whatever we've got, an A there. Okay, that is the setup. Nice and quick. I think it took us a couple of minutes. Hey, thanks. I'll take that. Don't panic. I've got this. Yeah, it's been a... Hey, David, welcome. Welcome, Sharif. Welcome, everybody. We have just set up. So now, placement is straightforward. We're going to start from the top of our pirate ship, from this little zone under here. We're going to play words that head us down. Every time we play a word, we'll cross off some air. So we have to be careful because we want air at the end. It will give us some points. Every time we cross a depth line here, we can't go back above it. That's important. So if we drop over there, we can't go and get that E second. If we extend a word downwards, it doesn't use any words. So if I had a word here like blend and then blending here, the ing wouldn't use up air. We play words here to get the treasure chests. What else? Oh, and as we use letters, we're going to cross off from the depth gauge here. We want to use up all the letters in the alphabet to get a total of 40 points. If I had crossed everything off here and I'd missed out one of those, you only get the full score. They only get the score of what you have filled up to, including the A's and the U's and the M's and the F's. So these are pretty much the versions that you'll get on Monday. I'll need to do a couple more tweaks to them. But I would like a suggestion in the comments of the first word. So we want a word that's going to come down that allows us to bridge to that E to get the first treasure chest. So in the comments, what might that be? What could we put there? I'll take any suggestions. Preferably something that we can extend past the line later on. Dive. Yep, dive could go down. What would be our horizontal word? If dive went down, what would be our horizontal? Let's plan ahead. So vote. Vote could work. And then what would go here? So if you did a VOTE and then something like the going over here. Okay, let's take David's suggestion of vote and we'll come down. Well, maybe come down a bit further. What could this word be? I'll write it, then we can work out what the word's going to be later. Oh, dive, then vote. Okay, yeah, let's do that. VOT. Okay, dive coming down here. DIVE. So let's do a couple of things now. We cross off one of our air supply because we've used it up. We cross off the letters that we've used up on our depth gauge. We've got a D, a V, an E, and an I. And then the second word David suggests is vote. Okay, nice. That's brilliant. That means we've got our first treasure chest. I'm going to cross off an O and a T. And then we'll cross off another air bubble because we used it up. Okay, so what we're going to play next. Yeah, longer words not necessarily better. Sometimes what you want to do is play up to the line and then play past the line later on. We might want, if someone can think of a lovely big long S word here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, an 8 letter beginning with S, and tell me kind of what goes there, that might be a nice way into this next one. Even better if we've got something really big that takes us kind of all the way down. So I think that's going to be a M there, an M for me. What else comes straight down here that allows us a long word starting with S that is 8 letters long? Change dive. Okay, right. That is a really good idea. Supergirl. That is also a good idea. I'm going to take Will's idea. If we turn dives into divers, okay, part of the rules say if we extend a word vertically, we're not playing a new word, we don't use any oxygen up. Okay, that's really good. But has that helped along here? Can anybody think of this word here now? S, 3 blanks, and S, 3 blanks. What would that word be? Yeah, Supergirl would have been a good one if we'd been able to get down, but I think it's worth us coming down without using the oxygen up. If we use all our oxygen up on the way back the other way and we run out, we lose. At the end of the game, any spare oxygen is going to give us a extra points. Oxygen will be worth 1 point at the end if we don't use those bubbles up. So suggestions for that word, anybody got any? Any ideas what it could be? Starship. Soap suds. Yes, soap suds is the one it's going to be. So let's take soap suds here. That's really nice. I like that. It has a bubbles feel to it. So what do? Well, we wrote soap suds, so we lose that. We gain this oxygen, so we're going to give ourselves 1, 2, 3 more bubbles, and we gain the treasure. Let me just make sure that I've got all of these bits. Soap suds, nice. Soap suds. Brilliant. Okay, we're doing really well. Starship is cool. I'm not sure which is better. Starship, soap suds. Okay. Right, where next? We're going to need to pick up this D. We want to continue this pattern of extending downwards with a word that we can extend a little bit further later on. So something maybe from P down here that takes us to the line or partway to the line and then across to get the D. So what might that be? What would take us down to that line? Hopefully everybody can hear me okay. How would we get down to the line and across? Take any ideas? Oh, right, David, that is an excellent idea. Okay, diversification would take us too far, meaning we wouldn't be able to fill in it. When you cross the line, you can't go back. But diversify, and then what would that word be? Why something something D? Just to make sure we can get over that line. Diversify. I think we should play. Diversify. What would it be? Why something D? Okay, that would do it. Yard. Okay, diversify goes here. We have to be careful. Yeah, we can get ourselves out. We'll get ourselves out down here. Diversify goes here. We don't use up oxygen. We'll cross off our letters. So we use a Y, that's good, and F, that's good. We're going to come across with yard, and that does use up some of our oxygen. Gets us that D. Now, I think in doing that, and because I'm playing in pen, we have caused a challenge. I don't think we can get this oxygen anymore because we can't come down from here because something yard isn't a word. A yard? No. We can't come down from here because there's no further from diversify. I don't know what that would be. And when we drop over this line, we don't get that bubble. So I think we've lost a bubble there. That's fine. That's fine. There are other ways for us to score points. So I think we just want to come down here with something simple. And I'm going to make a suggestion that to use up the X, we're going to come down with the word axe. So I'm going to play axe here. Like that. There's the X. Okay, so let's have a look what we've got here. We've got a chest to pick up here with the letter C. We've got a bubble to pick up here. And we probably should drop down next to the, and we could do something with maybe me going down here. So can you think of the word that goes here, that connects the C here, allows us to get the bubble? What would that be? I'll give you a moment. Any ideas what we'll play down here? Oh, thank you. Use a bubble for axe. I can do things like show people's comments. People may hold me up to the, holding me against the rules. Right, what we're going to play here. Ooh, we're on 492 backers. That is exciting. I wonder if there's any way we can get to 500 in the next 40 minutes. If anybody has a friend who you think you'd like a word, who would like a word game, send it over to them. Right, what we're going to do, where we're going to go. We need to come down here vertically. It's better to go straight from something like, it's probably going to be me or B, B-E or me. We're going to play vertically down to here. How about moist? And then what? Moistness next. Or moisten. Yes, moist is a good one. Thank you, David. M-O-I-S-T. Use up oxygen. Find the letters. M-O-I-S-T. Right, so suggestions from the room. What begins with C? What begins with C and goes across to the S? I don't think it really matters what it was. Has anybody got some good suggestions? Let's take a few suggestions from people. I think I can show your suggestions on the screen. We could have Christ. Any more suggestions? I think Christ would be a proper noun, which technically aren't allowed. What we're going to do. Can't have names, so no proper nouns. Every word has to be unique in any dungeon. You can't have abbreviations either. It's pretty good to have a Scrabble dictionary with you. Crust. C-R-U-S. No, we've got not quite. Crust doesn't fit. We need 3 letters in the middle there. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. I appreciate you coming along and supporting. It has been a roller coaster of a campaign. On 493 now, which is exciting. Chest. CHES. No, we still got this thing. We need chaps would do it. Or chest. CHE. Chaps. Let's have chaps. A pair of chaps to wear as you go down under the water. C. P. That's good. Cross off oxygen. Right, how are we going to do this? Something nice and easy for this bubble, I think. What would we take for the bubble? I thought we needed to go to the T. We want to collect the T here. Yeah, toe or two. Let's have a look here. Two is better because it's got the W there. So we'll go with two here. Excellent. Cross off the W. Need to pay attention to this, particularly this letter just here. It's quite easy to forget this one. Okay, so two. Cross off a bubble, but gained three more because we just picked up oxygen. And then did we decide moistness or moistens? We need to get this O. There's a bubble here as well. There's something a bit gnarly going around in this corner here. Probably come down from the W maybe. We want moistens, don't we? Or moistness. I keep saying it. I'm gonna just write it so I don't have to say the word anymore. Moistness. Okay. NESS, there's the N. So at this point, we have got the 10 points. That's got. We haven't got the 20 because we haven't got that Q. Do we use an H? Yes, we had the chaps. Thanks, Will. Has everybody enjoyed the campaign so far? I have been conscious that I am pretty much spamming people on a daily basis and have been for 8 days. It's possibly the most I have communicated with people I don't know. It has been a little bit wild. Has everybody enjoyed the campaign? Jeff, very glad that you stumbled on. I am glad you are here too. Oh, thank you, David. That is the best span ever. Okay, so tell me what we're doing next. I think this needs to be simple, so I'm just going to go with sin over here. That uses a bubble up. Okay, so where are we going here? We need something here. It's going to get a bit messy around here. It's a bit horrible, this part of this dungeon. We need to kind of get this bubble. We need this O. We need the T. We probably need something really long across here if we can. This is where we start to use a lot of oxygen up. Really nice the way this works, because as you get deeper, you're kind of getting more panicked. Your captain's chucked you off asking you to bring all this treasure back up, and you're just worried about that oxygen supply. So what are we going to do here? We kind of need to think about how we're going to do these things together. Osmosis. We can't play osmosis. If we played osmosis, OS, it doesn't fit. But even if it did fit, when you place a word, like in Scrabble, it has to make sense with all the other letters around it. So you couldn't have IS here because an II isn't a word and an S isn't a word. Yeah, this is a tricky puzzle. So the artwork for this was done by my friend Tom. I went to school with Tom a long time ago now. and he's done a fantastic job on this. This is very much his style, and I love it. The other artwork for other dungeons is me. So we've got this one just here, and then we should have the Labyrinth as well, the same style. Right, how are we going to do this then? What is our O that takes us horizontally across there? What's the O? We are on 494 backers. Doing well. Yeah, you're right. We might have to. Oaks uses a K. Yeah, okay, let's take Oaks because it uses a K. Oaks uses a K. Uses oxygen. It's worth getting the oxygen, I think, because it's going to... Or oats, yeah. Oats or oats, that would work. If that was an O. Let's go. So this is or, and this is going to be O, R. Ooh, can anybody think of a word that goes O, R, something, something? Looking for... Oh, oats could go down there, and then we could have tar going across here. Let's take oats as well. Let's use it. Oats goes there. Oxygen. Tar goes here. It uses up a word, but we gain 3, so it's worth doing. And then we haven't used anything up here, have we? We've not used an L anywhere. No. We've got Q, L, G, B, and Z. What takes us horizontally here? This is just going to be like sit, isn't it? It doesn't really matter. Although we could be clever. I feel like I need to get a pencil out. And that would be cheating. Because I'm thinking, if that was an A, we could go T, something, A, something, something, something. Okay. Yeah, let's... Kilt from oats does the trick as well, and possibly lines it up more nicely, and gives us the L. So let's do kilt. Kilt comes down, cross off the oxygen. Right, so we really want to... Oh, would that have been perfect? Additional. T-R-A-D. T-R-A-D-I-T. Oh, I don't think it would have quite worked. Okay, so what is this letter here? If this is going to be something like Ma, M-A, what is L something, 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 M, and then a few more somethings to get us out here? Yeah, this is the problem with playing in pen. You very quickly ruin your game. I hope people are Googling some suggestions. What we're going to play across there. We have to... Okay. Whoa, watching all the way from Korea. That is a distance from here. Good morning in Korea. Googling is cheating. Correct. Right, how are we getting out of here then? L-A-M-E-N-T. We've already had tar, so we can't have tar again. I was going to say lamenting would be good, but that's not going to work. L-A-T-E-N. That has to be an M, really, doesn't it? Or it could be an R. No, it needs to be an M. Language. Talisman. T. Ooh. Sorry. T-A-L-I-S-M-A-N. S, and it's na, and we can have na. But how are we going to get out of talisman? Can you have more than one talisman? 2 talismans? You can have a talisman. See, what's the plural of talisman? It must be talismans, right? Someone tell me, let's see if language works. L-A-N-G-U-A. Doesn't work. Okay, talismans. That sounds like a terrible word. T-A. Let's do that. That's something exciting to find at the bottom of the ocean. Talismans. Take another oxygen. Don't use anything up here. Okay, I think that's going to be is, but let's make it so it's something that we can extend upwards. So it is going to be IS, but we play something horizontal here that gets us this U. GNU here, maybe? GNU, I don't know how we'd get there. If this was is, then this can be something. Talismanic. Ooh, I played the S though. Talismanic. I got this here. GB. Okay, mantis. Yes, that's going to be mantis vertically. So this is going to be I. Can we think of the words that end in U? GNU. This isn't cheating, writing down words that end in U. I can't think of any more though. We kind of want to take it because this one's worth 5 points. Emu. Okay, emu is going to be the one, right? If that is emu, then this can be... We've already used me, haven't we? Yeah, we've used me up here. EMU. It doesn't have to be... Oh, okay, hold on. IGL. IN. Oh, tofu. Where's tofu? Okay, tofu goes here. Okay, yeah, tofu goes here. This becomes at, which we haven't used. I don't think. And this is going to be I. Could be ATE. Oh, you see how tricky this game is. This is going to be definitely be an I. This could be an emu. This could be a tofu. If this was an E, we could have something like set down here. So what's this word? I. Okay, I've got it. I'm going to go with indie. It's IE, isn't it? That looks terrible when I've written it down. Oh, I messed it up though. Have I messed it up? I think I have. Oh, Jeff, you left and I messed it up. I went with indie. Is there a solve here, anybody? Yes, there is, because mu is a Greek letter. So we go emu here and gets us the mu. So let's cross some bubbles off. So that is indie, gone. Emu, gone. Didn't use any of our good letters up. And then Will suggested, I can't remember what it was. Oh, it's a good one as well. Mantis. Because that allows us to go without using up oxygen. So remember, when you extend a vertical word further vertically, either up or down, when you do that, you don't use bubbles up. All right, we're doing well. Something nice that can go along here, please. Starting with A and ending with F. What might that be? What's going to take us across? We are on 495 backers. That is a little bit exciting. Look what I can do. I can go like this. Ooh, 495 backers. So what happened, Jeff, is you left and I nearly messed it up. Yeah, that's really helpful, David. What is that word? A, 4 blanks and an F. Doesn't have to be like that because we can get it with an if down here with something that goes in here. So you could come across here with something that had an I here to get us this bubble. This is another really difficult bubble to get. There are 24 minutes left of the campaign. And yeah, we're on 495. I don't think we'll make it to 500, but I think we might get close. People tuning in at the last minute to back not just 3 games, up to 6. Aloof. Yeah, Aloof not long enough. I think you might be able to hear me swallowing, so I might mute when I swallow this water. My microphone's right next to my neck. Okay, how are we going to get across here? I mean, we've got these as well. Normally, you wouldn't play with the pressure of doing it on YouTube Live. There are more relaxed ways to do this. Lots of people have been playing, watching TV, just printing off and playing. Might have to use the word starting with M instead. Yeah, well, let's do that. Can we think of something that goes... Ooh, can we think of something that ends I-N? M something 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 I-N. M something 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 I-N. So that's... Oh, that doesn't show you the gaps. That doesn't help at all. M something 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 I-N. I put this on the screen, you see, and this might help us work out what we're doing. What is that word? Or does it just not exist? It's entirely possible. It feels like it should exist though, doesn't it? Any ideas? I do have one. I think... Oh, yes. Melanin. Ooh, melanin. Okay, everybody's excited about melanin, so we'll do that. M-E, melanin. Amazing. So that gives us none of our letters because this Q is important. We've got the M done. We picked up the F. We're going to go with, I think it doesn't really matter here. So I think I'm just going to go with because none of these can be picked up. We'll just go with on. It costs us an oxygen, but we gain 3. Where are we going next? Anything. So what would be really good is if we can have something that goes here, allows us, or something that goes here, allows us to get the eye. Allows us to get the eye, and it extends upwards as well. What is that going to be? We're on 496 now. It's entirely possible we head over 500. You never know. There's 20 minutes left, and we're on 496 backers. Zoology. Where's that going? I can't go there because of this D. If that was something like mini, M-I-N-I, what would that be? What could this be? I'm more than halfway now. Zoologic. Okay, here we go. Oh, hold on. Is that brilliant? C-A. It doesn't quite work because if we go above this line, we can't get the I. So it is brilliant, I think. Z-O-O-L. No, it doesn't fit, does it? Social off the L and then unsocial. Yes. I-A. Okay. Social off the L. That is another oxygen used up. We're going to do unsocial to take us over. We now need to get that I. What is this I going to be? Can you be O something 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 I is what we're looking for. I wonder if this doesn't exist as a word. That's what we're looking for. We could get it in a slightly roundabout way as well. Don't have to get it in one. It's just nicer if we do because we end up with more points at the end. Just keep checking the Kickstarter. I mean, there's nothing special about 500 other than it is a nice round number. 4 more backers would get us 500. Any ideas? So you can see that because of that random rolling at the start, you've got a different game every time you play, really. And you can also make it more difficult for yourself if you want. What I really like about the word dungeon games is that there isn't, there's not a set of tiles we're using. So there isn't a pressure to know some words. We can just use anything we can think of. We don't need special words. I think we're stuck here though, aren't we? Right, help me out. What is that animal? What is... I think I've got it, but I'm not sure if it's an actual real animal. Yes. We are going to use a... Yeah, that's what I... Yeah, David, that's exactly... No, you haven't imagined it. That is what we're going to use. That's just what I thought then. One of them. It's got 4 legs. Occupy. Not used anything up here. Has used oxygen up. That's fine. We'll take Will's suggestion of unsocial over here. And then I'm going to suggest we're going to go down and get this. We pick up 3 and it's only going to take us 2. Let's go. Can we use slang or shorten letters, like dropping the G? No, you can't use slang. Well, you can use slang if it was in a dictionary, but not shorten letters. So I don't think you could have drop in instead of dropping, because I think I would class that as abbreviation. Of course, when you play, there is a set of rules, but I want people to play and enjoy themselves. So if you need to be a bit flexible, you can be. There's another dungeon that wasn't part of this series called A Day at the Zoo. And I think the reason why I know the word okapi, not up. Okay, yeah. And the reason why I remember that is because in that one you have to play as many animals as possible. Right, this could be unusual. I think that's right. That'll be the one to do. UN usual is unusually is really nice. Use up an oxygen, that's fine. Gain 3 more. We need to be careful here. Look, I'm going to get a little highlighter out so we can see what we're aiming at. This Q, this J, a G, a B, and a Z. We need to get. Okay, this is going to be like earn. Looks like a sensible one. Uno. Yes. It's a game. I don't think it counts, but let's have it. Uno. Use that up. This can be no or 2, but we need, and that's going to have to be an E, isn't it? For we. So if that was a T, something, T, something, E, something. What do we want to go in there? Or it can be an N or a D. No, it can be a G. Make it a G. Because I'm going to use that up. If we make it a G, we can use this G up for go. And then it could be G something E goes. Excellent. G O E S. Used up a word. Fine. But we got the G. Right, we've been into this bit. So this is a really good one because it's worth 5 points there. Right, how do you want to move here? We need L here. Something that picks up this bubble would be good. And then out into that. We're nearly there. What are we going to play next? We are 11 minutes to go on the Kickstarter with 496 backers. Lizard would go Lizard. Okay, then that's going to have to be something D there. Let's pick up this bubble here with, I've got it. Let's pick up the bubble with the Q for key. Okay, use up an oxygen, gain 3. I think, where did we miss oxygen? Oh, I think I've forgotten to put some oxygen in. We didn't get this one, but we got all the rest. So I must have missed. We only missed 1, so we should have those. Lizard and dull. Okay. We can do that. We still need a J, a B, and a Z. So we're going to play dull here. Lizard. Dull. DUL. Oxygen. Whoop, light nearly fell over there. Let me move that there. There we go. Lizard. So dull, lizard, Z. We're nearly there. Right, how are we going to get out? What's our best way of getting out here? We're on 11. How many minutes to go? 9 minutes to go. 9 minutes. I'll be relieved when it is over. I've not seen any 8-day campaigns. I quite enjoy them. Finishing is certainly takes the stress off. Right, how do we want to play out here? We need to get a J, we need to get a B. Buzz to use the Z. Okay. We can't. Oh, yeah, B uses. We just have to make sure we can get this G, though. Can we work out what this G something 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 Y is? That would be helpful. Yeah, if we, that's something like, oh, grumbly is good. Grumbly, grumbly. We still need a J to get us out, probably. Once you hit the surface, you're done. So we can't come back down. Grumbly is good. We can grumble away across there. Grumbly. Just trying to work out how we get the J in. We could have something like jewel, jade. We really want it. That J unlocks the 30. If we don't, if we can get the B, great. But if we don't get the J, we don't get that 40. Grouchy down. Does that mean we can get that J though, and the B? I think grumbly is the way to go. End on jar off the grumbly. Yes, okay, that's really good. If we end on JRE from the grumbly, then what is this? B something 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 R. I think that's all we need. B something 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 R. These are our 3 letters. What we're going to do. We might even get this done just in time, although we do need to score up. 496 still? 497, you never know. We're on 497 backers. Briar. Okay, let's do that. Briar. B-R-I-A-R. Oxygen. Grumbly. G-R-U-M-B-L-Y. Oxygen. And then we've done the B and we finish on, well, let's have a vote. Do you want to finish on a jam or a jar? Jam or jar to finish? What would be the best to finish on? Jam or jar? Let's have some votes. Rum would be, well, it's in there. But if we, see, because of this J just here, if we don't get it, we only score 20 points. Jam. Will says jam. Two for jam. Okay, let's leave with jam then. Jam to get us to the surface, cross off the oxygen. Absolutely brilliant. So we have got all the treasure. So we'll count up. And we see if we can count up before the Kickstarter ends. We've got 5 minutes. So let's see what our final score was here. We have got, count with me here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 14, 17, 22. 27, 32, 35, 37, 38, 39, 40. So our treasure score, let me write this up here, is 40. Our oxygen score is the oxygen we have left over. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's where the real difficult scoring comes in. I'm going to open up the Discord channel tomorrow, the Discord server, so people can play together. I'm hoping to build a bit of a community around these games. Discord will open tomorrow, and then games will be delivered to everybody at some point on Monday once I've just got all the final details sorted. Okay, let's have a look. Depth gauge. Well, because we've got everything here, everything here, everything here, everything here, we hit 40. So that gives a total of 86 points. That is very, very good. Let me see. I think I've got in the instructions somewhere what that sets us up as. 86 is going to give us first mate. That's our score. First mate. So that is word dungeon. Now, if you'd like to hang around for the next 3 minutes, we can see how the Kickstarter campaign ends. Any questions? I can tell you. 499. I'm 499 backers. I wonder if we can get over in that last minute. I'll be so happy if we did. Right. Ask me a question. I've been building word dungeons now for 8 months. And this has been a brilliant Kickstarter campaign. I have absolutely loved every moment of it. And the support has been fantastic, especially from many, many game designers who've been working with me and spending time with me. I will send a link to the Discord out in an update tomorrow. I'm going to keep spamming you with updates. So ask me a question. Let's pass the next 3 minutes whilst we see if we can chug this over 499. Oh, we can. We are now on 500 backers. We made 500 backers. That is absolutely insane. We got 500. Will, have you just been logging in with different accounts? And I think you're not allowed to do that. 2 years making games in general. This is the first one that has been published. Will has played many of the other prototypes. 500. That is brilliant. At the start, me and 2 friends did a sweepstake on how many we would get to. And I thought maybe on a good day I might get up to 100. I thought that might be an amount that seemed like a good amount. And we passed that quite early on. $500 backers. That's mad. With 2 minutes to go. What next? Hey, maybe we should do a blog. Well, this is the first, I suppose the first season will be this one. And then I think in a few months' time, once I've seen how everybody's finding these 3 games, I have 3 more. I also have to do, thank you, David. I also have to draw up 3 dungeons. So 3 people backed at the Dungeon Master tier. So those 3 dungeons will be drawn up in the next, end of April. I'm going to deliver them to everybody. And so those 3 dungeons need doing. But yeah, we have got many other dungeons with lots of really interesting mechanics. I was having a conversation this morning with somebody about a cool kind of bomb defusal version of the game. 40 seconds left. So yeah, and in the Discord there'll be lots of opportunity for people to play and to test them out. I'm excited about that. Yeah, definitely collaborations. Really I want to keep the little word dungeons going. Keen to look at building some kind of app as well. That would be exciting. because I think there's something that can be played on the phone quite easily. Well, I say easy, I can't make it, but I think someone else might be able to help me with that. They will find a way. Collaborations for dungeons, really good. I've really enjoyed working with people on this campaign. It only works because other indie creators have banded together to support each other, and I'm looking to do that in the future, to continue kind of taking these ideas and supporting others as well. It's a really important part of games design for me. So I think that is the campaign over. There are no more seconds to go. We had a nice little sprint there towards the end. And that takes us to exactly 500 backers for the Kickstarter. Funded, yep, totally funded. That is absolutely brilliant. Right, I think I have taken up an hour of your time. Thank you for joining. It would have been a little bit awkward if nobody had turned up, especially if nobody with a YouTube account had turned up. So thank you for coming along. Thank you for playing along with me. There'll be an update tomorrow after I've had a good night's sleep. And how early is it, Jeff, if you've woken up? How far behind are you? Or ahead? Ahead, I assume. 6 a.m. Jeff, you are a legend for getting up so early to play with us. Right, thank you, everybody. I am going to finish it there. That is Word Dungeon completely funded. Didn't we do well? It is very much a team effort, and your support, your care, and your guidance, and everything that you've shared with me has made this incredibly special. Thumbs up, and I will see you in a dungeon soon. See you later.